In my 20-some-odd years, I've encountered a ton of creepy encounters. From home break-ins in which I was still home, to being stalked by a weird customer at my first job. This particular encounter, however, is definitely one of the stranger ones I had. So, a little background before I jump in. I was 14 at the time, and I weighed maybe 95 pounds, soaking wet. My parents had recently gone through a divorce, so our funds were sparse to say the least. I was, and still am, incredibly religious. At the start of the school year, my school's 2 8th grade history teachers started planning out a $900 per student trip to Washington, D.C. I wanted to go, but like I said before, my family just did not have the funds. Months go by, and it's 1 week before the trip's scheduled departure date. One of my fellow students dropped out of the trip, leaving a fully paid seat behind. The history teachers knew how badly I wanted to go, so they offered me the free trip to D.C. Woohoo, I thought. My mom had me leave the school by 6 a.m. the morning of the trip. I'll never forget what she said to me that morning as she was leaving the school. Remember that you don't open hotel doors for anyone unless you know beyond a shadow of a doubt who's on the other side. Ask who it is and look through the peephole. I remember thinking that she was being silly. I would never open a hotel door all willy-nilly. Little did I know just how useful her advice would come in handy. Fast forward about 16-ish hours, and we're stopping for the night at our first hotel. I think it's important to note that the girls were on the 3rd floor, the chaperones on the 2nd floor, and the boys were on the 1st. My 3 roommates and I stumbled into our room at the end of the hall, half awake, and shortly after, we heard a knock on the door. It was 11:55 p.m. That was weird. I followed my mom's instructions and called out, "Who is it?" I checked through the peephole to see the head of a female chaperone. She just wanted to remind us all that lights out was at 12:15. Okay, that sounded good to us. 1:30 comes around, and I'm still wide awake reading a book, while the other 3 girls are watching the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Smart. We were all enjoying ourselves, granted, a little on edge due to the movie, when somebody knocked at the door again. I, very calmly, got up and said, "Who is it?" No answer. I said, "Who is it?" But still, no answer. I looked through the peephole just as a tallish, white, strange-looking man starts walking away. Maybe he just had the wrong room, I thought. I told my friends it was no one, just our imagination, because of the movie. I did not mention the man. I didn't want to freak them out, so I just went back to my book. They went back to the movie, and not 10 minutes later, there's another knock at the door. But this time it's followed by an insistent jiggling of the door handle. We all look at each other, and this time I did not go to the door. I said a quick prayer, and then took the chair in the room and dragged it to the door, putting the top of the chair under the door handle, and piled up our 4 suitcases on top of it as best as I could. Stupid me thought that would be enough, so I didn't even lock the deadbolt. An hour passes, and we're all just gabbing away, when someone starts pounding on the door. They're shaking the lock, screaming, we can't understand anything he's saying. He kept doing that for a solid minute, before banging at the door one last time, and then silence. After waiting a few minutes, just in complete silence, I finally found the courage to walk over to the door and check it out. The chair was on its back, and our suitcases were scattered across the floor. I called the head male chaperone and had him come to our room. He called the front desk, who called the cops, who, upon further inspection of the door, found that it had burn marks where it seems the guy tried to light it on fire. The next morning, a few of the girls were asking around if anybody else had heard the loud bangs and screaming, but only a few had. I spoke to a couple of them to see if anything strange happened, and one girl said, "Yeah, some old guy came to our door, but I told him to fuck off." I don't know what this guy wanted, why he so desperately wanted to get into our room, or why he thought burning our door down would be smart, but I haven't ignored my mom's advice since that night. Hey guys, Scary Stories here. I hope you enjoyed that one tonight. Sorry if you could hear my laundry machine going off halfway through there. If you liked the video, give it a like. If you disliked it, give it a dislike. Subscribing always helps. Really means a lot. We're almost at 1,000, which is awesome. TikTok's kind of lame, but if you're into that, I have a TikTok too. We're almost at 10,000 over there. So I think I'm doing something right with it. Also, if you have a story or an idea for a future video, feel free to email me at scarystories@2am@gmail.com. I'd love to hear from you. But yeah, that's it. I hope you're having a wonderful night. I hope you're taking care of yourself and treating yourself well. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.